Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not crying, although I might be a bit emotional. I am confused more than anything else. What the hell happened tonight at SmackDown? I don't know, but we gotta talk about it. Obviously, we're gonna talk about Cody Rhodes, but this is a weekly, show review. I also review PLEs. If you're interested in that sort of content, and B2K24, by the way, consider subscribing, giving this video a like to help a small creator like me out. All right, we're gonna talk about everything that happened on SmackDown. I kind of want to keep it short, but man, this SmackDown was kind of crazy actually, because forget everything else that happened at the main event. Like even throughout the entire show, we had a lot of things happen. It just makes me sad seeing this photo though, because I mean, look how unsuspecting he is. Then again, he knew at this point probably that The Rock was coming, that what was going to happen was going to happen. And so look at his face. Look at his face. Hold on. I'm trying to zoom it in, but it just zooms it out. Okay, it's trolling me. Just look at his face, man. Let me zoom it in this way. Does this look like a face of a happy man? I don't know. Anyways, oh, there you go. It's, I believe, a fake smile for us. What is this? Oh, okay, this is Rumble. Okay, there we are with the correct picture set or album this time. SmackDown from yesterday. I know I'm a day late, but man, that messed me up. I had to take a moment to collect my thoughts. And here we are today, man. Here we are today with Logan Paul opening things up. I like his attire. I like the way he presents himself. Well, I like the way he talks and walks. Logan Paul is a total wrestler, even though he only had like 2 matches or something like that. Insane. Kevin Owens came out here. Now, I really crapped on the finish of the Royal Rumble. I gotta be honest, because, hey, and any day of the week, the referees are absolutely stupid and they ignore everything or they miss everything. But that day, the referee was suddenly eagle-eyed and saw the brass knuckles. But you know what? At the end of the day, it wasn't the worst finish of all time. It just, I thought it could have been done better in the sense that they could have built up to it just a tiny bit. Well, that's just my humble opinion. So all I'm saying is I'm going to leave that behind and try to just look at this segment alone in itself. And honestly, there wasn't too many things that were memorable. It's just that, okay, we get it. Rematch is going to happen. Logan says like, it's not going to happen. But we know what's going to happen, right? So let's just fast forward to it and get to the rematch. Honestly, at this point, I don't know what they could do. Maybe something insane, like insanely personal by Logan Paul. Maybe Logan can break into Kevin's house and do some crazy stuff there. Other than that, though, it's difficult, at least for me, to care about this feud right now with everything else that's going on. Besides, seeing the second match. Anyways, yeah, let's just get to this match as well. Like I said, I'm not going to take too long about talking about other stuff that happened in SmackDown, even though a lot has happened. Because, man, they kept it kind of light. They kept it kind of light. Sure, a lot of things happened, but most of it didn't matter. By the way, he used the brass knucks and he won this time. Great. And then we had this tag team match. Like, again, a whole bunch of stuff happening. Really not that big. Kind of house show filler stuff because they knew what they had in the main event was going to outshadow everything, and it did. This might be one of the biggest segments of all time, of the decade for sure, of the year, absolutely. So, yeah, not this one, not this one. But, cool to see Tyler Bate on the main roster. He's been I'll be honest, he's been irrelevant, doing nothing in NXT UK, doing nothing in NXT 2.0. I am scared about Tyler Bate. I don't know what he's gonna do, but I hope they give him more character and a better storyline to go forward with that. But yeah, whatever, dude. Like this really didn't excite me. This was good though. This is worth a mention. Bayley came out there and we all knew she was gonna pick Io. And I guess the only thing I would say is that Bayley spoke perfectly, and it was obvious that she tried to turn babyface here, and with the attire she was wearing, it was even more obvious. I mean, that attire was enough for her to become a babyface or a Bayley face. Okay, that was terrible. I feel like a dad. So these two, the Warriors, got behind Bayley, and I don't know, that was like super obvious. Sure, you don't have to like subvert expectations on everything, but you could have done something more creative. I don't know, or like the timing was also weird. Bayley was laying into Io, and I really loved what she was talking about, and I wished maybe she brought some more heat or gotten more chances to really talk about the issues she had. But you know what? That's what next week is for. She's got plenty of time until WrestleMania to flesh out this feud. And she's going to be alone by herself because I don't know where Dakota is, number one. And number two is Io. She's going to barely speak a sentence of English, right? So all the promo work, all the actual hard work of, like making this something we care about is going to fall on the shoulders of Bayley. But, she's great on the mic. So I think she'll be able to pull it off. Maybe, we'll have Dakota as the mouthpiece of Io, but we'll see what happens. It's obvious that Bayley and Io Sky now, they're going to go ahead and do their thing at WrestleMania, but everything else than that, all the small variables, they might change. So we'll have to wait and see. Well, damage control was not going anywhere, man, as far as like their momentum and everything like that. So I'm glad they actually took a step and forwarded the story. The bloodline, that was something I wanted the bloodline to do for a long time too, especially considering Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa. They're still kind of on the sideline, but with the Rock coming back tonight, yeah, we'll see. Also, this shot was, nice. It was kind of obvious the way they set it up, but whatever. You know what I mean? It's marquee. You can put it on the marketing stuff. It's nice. All right. So this happened. I have no recollection of this because you know what? This completely, if you look at my review, I talked about this last week. I said, you know what I'm excited about, or I liked a carrying cross segment for the first time ever, maybe. But what happened at Royal Rumble? It completely destroyed any sympathy, any interest I have in this feud. Both Bobby Lashley and Karrion Kross went into the Rumble and eliminated nobody but each other. These two big men that we are supposed to take seriously. Bobby Lashley was a contender, was a WWE champion at one point, was beating Brock Lesnar, right? Now he's just doing this. I'm sorry, this is just bad booking. This is just afterthought. And I'm sorry for Karrion Kross because he does have potential. And this could have really been it. This might have been also his last chance. And also, I like the Street Profits. I think they're very talented. They need a gimmick change. So this could have been great for them too. It's just, I don't know what they're doing with this booking. It's just like, no. They're just doing this to do this. They're just doing this to check off a list. That's almost what it feels like. No passion, nothing unique, nothing crazy going on about this. BFAB joined them. All right, what can I say? It's not the end of the world. They still have a couple of weeks to run this, storyline and maybe give us something good. But man, it just looks like every single other Karrion Kross rivalry where it's cold, it keeps on going cold, and then when it ends, it's even colder. So the first week they got me. I was like, okay, maybe they'll do something. Or last week, which was the second week of their storyline, they got me like, but now I'm just kind of off the boat. I don't know what you guys think, but regardless, this is not the main event of the evening, so we're just gonna move on. Okay, this happened. Tiffany Stratton got signed to SmackDown. They're trying to sign Brian Breaker. If I didn't miss anything, it's not official yet. But man, they got Tiffany on here. Tiffany, let me pronounce her name properly. And that Braun Breaker, if he comes here, which I think after what happened in the main event, he might. But we'll get to it. Yeah, like Cody probably is not going to be involved on SmackDown if he is going after Seth Rollins. We'll talk about some theories I have that might not happen, but it looks like the most likely scenario right now. So if that's going to happen, Cody's going to Raw, then I can see Braun Breaker coming to SmackDown. But with Cody on SmackDown and everything like that, Braun, I would think he would go to Raw. But yeah, like I said, the event at the main event, that changed everything. But Tiffany Stratton, she has the best moonsault, I think, in the WWE. The most impressive one. She does it differently. She jumps on all of the ropes and hits it so gracefully. Unfortunately, for her debut match, she missed completely. Almost completely. She at least touched with her hands. But I wish she didn't, really. I think this was an important moonsault for her because for many people, it was her first impression. And, that's everything. But huge potential, man. I always thought she was awesome in the ring. Such a cool moveset. Very athletic. Good character. Good everything, really. Like, if you cannot make something out of Tiffany, a champion, a star, a draw out of Tiffany Stratton, I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't be booking wrestling events. That's how far I'll go as far as my endorsement of Tiffany Stratton. And there you go. We are at the main event of the evening and the main event of this video. Where do I even begin with this? Roman Reigns came out with the bloodline. And then he proceeded to bury Seth Rollins and his title first. So what did he do? He said, let's talk about Seth Rollins because last week he talked some crap about me. And I don't like the recap. But man, we got to lay this on the table since I am the head of the table. So Seth Rollins. And then he looked around a little bit. That's right. No pop. Exactly. I said Seth Rollins, obviously. That's horrible. What in the hell was the point of that? I do not understand why they did this unless they have like a real crazy plan. Because one thing I will say, and if you take nothing else away from this video, okay, I'm just gonna switch my tone. Just so you remember this, okay? Remember this. Triple H said this one thing. He said it for LA Knight, but I think it's a great insight to his philosophy when booking. He said, good things or great things come to those who wait. I'm hoping that it's a case of that like all these BS decisions that we've seen so far up until this point, they serve a larger purpose, a long-term storytelling purpose that we cannot think about right now. But I'm afraid now because for all we know, The Rock might be in control with now the fact that he has the shares of TKO, right? Triple H might not be able to book stuff in the future. So maybe he had a great plan, but with The Rock coming in, maybe they're all destroyed now. And politically, no matter how great power Triple H has, how much of it he has, The Rock has always been a step above him backstage too. And I mean, you look at his influence in general, Dwayne Johnson, you can't really compare. But let's get back to Roman Reigns burying Seth Rollins. When he said Seth Rollins, exactly, nobody popped, nobody made a reaction. That's basically The Rock burying Booker T and Juventud Guerrera, I think. Who in the blue hell are you? For you older wrestling fans or more studied wrestling fans, you know exactly what that moment entailed. That destroyed a five-time, you get the rest, WCW World Heavyweight Champion like that when he debuted in the WWE. It destroyed Booker T. Now, Booker T was extremely talented, so much so that he rebuilt his entire career and became a main eventer anyways. He's that damn goated. But that line destroyed his career, dude, when he first came in. And what Roman Reigns did to Seth Rollins right now destroys Seth Rollins. Like, before this, I was telling Seth Rollins, or whenever this conversation about him came up, I was saying, man, just leave the company. It's obvious they don't value you. No matter what you do, no matter how much you stick up for them and break your neck, break your back, break your knee, doesn't matter. They're never going to make you the guy. They're never going to give you the main event of WrestleMania. They're never going to give you the thing that you deserve. That's what I was saying before this happened. Now, I don't even know what to say, man. I don't even know what to say. I hope AEW picks up the pace. If I was Tony Khan, I don't know. Like, I would do everything in my power to make AEW the greatest that it can be. Because then it actually presents a realistic scenario for guys like Seth Rollins to say, you know what? Let me take a year off of WWE. Let me go to AEW. Let me rise up my value. That was horrible. Why in the blue hell? It's like crapping on your own plate that you eat. I'm sure there's a saying about that, right? An idiom or something like that. Why would you crap on your own company's secondary champion? I know you're a heel and all that, but there are better ways of saying it. It's like me opening up this video and saying, hello, welcome to this SmackDown review. I make the crappiest reviews of all time. Yeah, no feeling, no nothing. This is horrible, man. Don't even watch this. Like, what is the point of that? What is the point of that? I don't get it. And aren't Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns brothers in real life? Like, not actual brothers, blood brothers, but like really, really close? Why would you do this? Tell me one good reason why would you do this? Because I can't tell you. I can't tell you even a single one. Like, it feels like ceasefire because, or crossfire, not ceasefire, but crossfire. Because Seth Rollins, sure, he said a couple of lines about not Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns. But was this really necessary? You buried Seth Rollins and you buried this title as well by saying this. And then, Seth Rollins last week came out and I actually liked this promo. That's what I said. And I did. He was emotional. And the promo itself I liked. But then I talked to other people and I saw other people's opinion. And one of the opinions I saw was that Seth Rollins basically came out there and begged Cody, please pick me, please pick me. I'm the number one champion, but please pick me. So there's a huge dichotomy there. I forgot to realize that. I don't know why. But yeah, after hearing those opinions, like, mine changed as well. Because it makes so much sense. Yeah, like, say you're the greatest marketer of all time. The best the world has ever seen. Because that's what Seth Rollins is claiming, is the best champion ever. He's the greatest. And let's say, yeah, you're the greatest marketer. Then the companies should come to you and beg you to be in their business. To, give them your marketing services so they become better. In other words, people should be begging Seth Rollins for a championship match and not the other way around. Him begging for a challenger, him begging to Cody Rhodes to face him at WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight Championship, that just shows you, like, that buried Seth Rollins and the title there anyways once, like 6 feet. Now he's buried 12 deep after that. And then Cody Rhodes comes out. Cody Rhodes comes out with 10,000 pyros. Oh yeah, they straight up in the website just went to The Rock. I mean, Cody didn't say much too. Yeah, he didn't look happy. He was very bretty in his promo, like, Roman, I gotta tell you this. I was like, what is going on, man? I was still honestly like, yeah, I was weirded out by his very bretty promo, more bretty than usual. But I had no idea what was coming. You know my opinion about the Royal Rumble. If you don't, if you're watching for the first time, I hated it. I thought he was overbooked, overpowered, and he didn't really earn his WrestleMania moment properly. Like, it was insanely just burying everybody, like super rising up super fast. I didn't get why people like Cody Rhodes. I'm being honest here. I'm being completely honest. And like, people backlashed against Roman Reigns back in the day, John Cena back in the day. Why not Cody Rhodes? Like, why do people have no problem with Cody Rhodes? Because, hey, I've been following his journey ever since he was dashing Cody Rhodes and New Legacy Cody Rhodes even. And I loved every second of it. Even the mustache Cody, I loved it. Cody, I loved it. It's just that I thought he was good, but not good enough to be pushed to this level, right? He was being pushed down our throats. And yeah, I was like waiting for people to eventually realize that he's another John Cena, he's another Roman Reigns. And when he won the Royal Rumble, I thought that was the stroke or what the straw that broke the camel's back, basically. I didn't like it. Not that I hate Cody. I still like Cody, by the way. I still like to see his matches. I still like to watch his segments. I just didn't think the way he was handled, just like Roman Reigns back in the day. I liked him. You know, he was a good presence, physical presence. He always sold well, you know, did decent matches. I didn't hate him, not by any means. Same with John Cena. I just hated the way they booked him. The stories they gave him, the way they pushed it down our throats, paused and made him overpowered. Same thing was happening with Cody. But at the very least, I respected their decision to say, you know what? We're going with Cody Rhodes. We are going with Cody Rhodes. Whether you like it or not, he's going to be the guy. He's on the cover of the WWE 2K24 game, and he is our guy, whether you like it or not. And I was scared of what crazy other stuff he was going to do. But at the same time, I respected it. You know what, WWE? You need new stars. You need somebody else because all you've created all these years was Roman Reigns, and that's it. You need that another big name, and I don't like the way you're doing it. But at the end of the day, if you chose your new star and you're going to create him this way, I'm okay with it. I at least respect it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'll just respect it. But they didn't even do that. They just ruined that with this segment. Because Cody comes out, says, Roman Reigns, I'm not just going to take the title from you. The Dusty's title, by the way. Yeah, I mean, Seth Rollins said a whole bunch of BS, but who cares about that absolute jobber and his absolute jobber title? This is a real Dusty title, so burying the title one more time. What is it now? 18 feet after 12 feet? Oh, boy. And then he said, man, I'm not just going to take your title from you. I'm going to take everything from you, but not at WrestleMania. And I was like, what? My language was a lot more colorful. I didn't just say, what? I was watching with Off the Top Boys, which is Brian, Dubs, and Kenny at the time. We were on Discord, and my language was very colorful when he said this. I almost felt like I was in a fever dream. I almost felt like I heard something wrong. Like, I don't know. I misheard everything that I saw. I was hallucinating. Maybe the water I drank had some sort of hallucinogen in it. And no, that wasn't the case. Everything became really, really clear because, like, he said one more thing about getting counsel or whatever. But at that point, I was like out of it. I was like, what did I just hear? This was me. And then the music hit. And when this music hit, I was like, all the fogginess in my brain kind of cleared up. I was like, oh my flippin' Filipino God. Salamat God. You know what I mean? Oh boy. The Rock made his entrance. And then those clear thoughts became unclear again. I started questioning life, our purpose, our existence in this universe while swearing a whole bunch. I'm not doing it in this video to not get it demonetized. But you know, you can imagine. You can just run it through your head. And then what messed me up even more is this. They shook hands. And then let's see. Yeah. The Rock pulled him in, right? And they held on this pose for like 10 to 15 seconds. I don't know what in the hell The Rock was saying here, but he must have been like giving him the best sales pitch he could ever give in his entire life. They're like, don't feel bad, Cody. You know, I'm stealing your spot completely, but don't feel bad. Then let's just finish off, you know, telling what happened. Cody just left with a fake smile. He just left. And then they made the face-to-face. There you go. Finished all the images? Okay, now let's finish talking about this sumbitch. I wanted this to happen. If you look at my off-the-top podcast moments or my other videos, anytime this subject came out, I said Roman Reigns versus The Rock is the way to go. It's the obvious way to go, 100%. And if you don't do this, don't even run a wrestling show. You know, you don't know what you're doing at all. With all the respect to Cody, that was my opinion. But why would you do it this way? You buried Seth Rollins. You buried his championship. When The Rock came out, you buried Cody Rhodes. Imagine Stone Cold saying to Bruno Sammartino, returning, saying like, you're going to do the WrestleMania, you just return, you're going to go to the main event instead of Stone Cold. You know what? I like that idea. All right, give it here. Let's shake hands. That's the bottom line, you know? And then he just leaves with a smile on his face. NTR is an interesting word. Maybe some people know about it. Maybe some people don't. What else? CUCK is another interesting word. Just a random word I wanted to throw out there. What Cody did kind of reminds me of those words. It's just like, what? Cody, you're a grown man. You've been carrying the company on your back for 2 years. I disagree with how they book you, but you looked stronger than Randy. You beat Brock Lesnar. He passed you the torch. You won 2 Royal Rumbles back to back. You did every BS the company threw at you. You represented them greatly in every single interview. Even when they had nothing interesting to give you, you made it interesting yourself. And you've been doing it even before you left the WWE in the first place. Even as Stardust, you bared so much for this company. And you're just gonna say, okay, you're just gonna leave. I'm sorry, but like, if I was supporting Cody Rhodes for all this time, I would want to stop watching wrestling, which is exactly what happened to just Brian, by the way. He's another one of fellow wrestling creators from Off the Top. You know, great guy, by the way. Check out his YouTube channel. He's a big Cody fan, right? And he was crushed. He was crushed. And if I was in his position, I would be feeling the exact same way. So 2 years of his journey. Some people have been following him for longer, probably more dedicated than Brian. Imagine their surprise when Cody Rhodes just say, okay, just take the main event. At least CM Punk spit in Rock's face. At least CM Punk brought in the Shield. At least CM Punk did everything in his power to keep the title with him and go on to the main event. Cody Rhodes just shook his hand. Like, I know wrestling is scripted. This is written and all that shit. But some things you cannot come back from. This is gonna be a forever black mark on Cody Rhodes' career. Just a low moments. He literally gave up his spot. I don't even like, how else can I tell you this? He gave up his WrestleMania spot to win his dad's title that he gave so much importance to. He won 2 back-to-back Royal Rumbles to get to the spot, carried the company for 2 years on his back. This is his entire life purpose. And he just gave it away to The Rock. Imagine Austin doing this. Imagine John Cena doing this. Imagine any other main eventer doing this. In the entire history of wrestling. Forget WWE, WWF. Forget all of those. Entire history of wrestling. Whoever was responsible for booking this, just don't even touch the wrestling business. If Rock was gonna come here and be at the main event, which, again, I think that should be what's happening regardless. Well, not regardless, actually. That's gonna be my exact point. Put The Rock at the main event by getting him in the Royal Rumble. Let him win that. And Cody, you know what? No matter what he does, he can't get there maybe. He tries to do the triple threat thing. Something happens, he can't get there. He just has to battle Seth Rollins. Means the Elimination Chamber goes on his merry way. And then SummerSlam, he does his thing. Like, it wouldn't be good. Because he's supposed to finish the story at WrestleMania. Otherwise, it's not going to feel as special and as big. But you wouldn't have buried the guy to high hell. You killed him with this. You destroyed him with this. Like, I'm never going to be able to take this guy seriously. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, a jobber wouldn't do this move, dude. Maybe only a jobber. Like, even a jobber like Spike Dudley, let's say, the mid-carder like Maven or low-carder, he would say, you know what, I'm gonna fight you. And then he would get his ass whooped. He wouldn't even be able to get one punch in, but he would fight for it. But Cody didn't fight for it. This is ridiculous. This is one of the worst booking decisions I've seen ever. Ever. Maybe worse than CM Punk, which is insane. That's why people have been calling Cody Rhodes a better CM Punk than CM Punk right now, which I cannot disagree with. Again, this feels worse than what happened to CM Punk, and I cannot believe I'm uttering those words right now. And the last thing I want to say, the only thing I can remember, honestly, I'm sure there's a lot more things to talk about, but I can't remember right now, and it's not important. This might be the whole booking around this, the wrench that we just got thrown right on our faces, might be the fault of The Rock. Meaning, he might be behind the creative process of everything we're seeing right now as far as Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns goes. And I think he just got in here recently. After he took over at TKO, that's when he started to meddle with the creative business. They're already talking about him replacing Triple H. Some of the allegations about Vince McMahon, people are trying to connect that with Triple H, or regardless if they try or not, it might be connected to Triple H, in which case, hey, The Rock is ready right now and primed to take over. Because, I mean, he's not a perfect person. Let's get that straight. He's not a perfect person at all, but he hasn't done anything too controversial. And he's still regarded as a very clean, family-friendly babyface, great guy all around in the entire world. And again, has much more political power than Triple H. So it wouldn't be surprising if he replaced Triple H, if he ended up doing that. Maybe he's preparing for that. And if he was to be involved in this creative process for this segment, it wasn't Cody, let me tell you that. Hey, look at his face right here. There you go. That's a better picture to show. Look at his face right there. Cody wasn't involved with this creative decision, but The Rock was, I feel like. And shout out to Just Brian on our group chat for Off the Top, which is another pro wrestling channel right now. We talk about all like wrestling games, wrestling, everything. It's awesome. The link is going to be in the description. Go ahead and check it out after this video. I think it makes sense that this segment was horrible as it was right now, because let me show you the tweet. You'll understand. Here it is, man, up here. Black Adam bombing, Young Rock being cancelled, the XFL being forced to do a merger to survive after one season, The Rock's ego has been bruised and battered the past 5 years. I mistake there, past 5, not fast 5, pardon the pun. I don't know if he could handle the wrestling fans rejecting him, which is an insane thing to say, but it's true. So that's been The Rock. I remember just a couple of months ago watching a video about The Rock's situation, about how he took over Hollywood and about the entire situation on Black Adam and how he kind of ruined that movie. The Rock, from what I know, has like contracts where in Fast, Furious or any other action movie, he literally cannot be beaten in the action movie to protect his brand or whatever. But do you see right now how narcissistic that sounds? And again, him failing with XFL and all that, and especially with Black Adam, because that movie was done by his own studio and he had the creative control for that movie. It wasn't a horrendous movie, but it was just watered down. It had nothing to say. It was just mid at best. It just shows that, yeah, The Rock is not the greatest when it comes to creative. He needs the guy who writes for him, right, in the WWE. He needs somebody to help him. So if he came in here, took some power, took some creative liberties, and this is what he came up with, if that's like the official story, we hear it for like a year later, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised because this is so out of left field. This is so Vince McMahon type of stuff. Maybe even Vince wouldn't do something like this, I'm not sure. But whoever is responsible, like I said, you gotta take a look at the mirror, man. Sure, you got people talking. Sure, you got the most disliked video ever on your channel with like 200,000, maybe 500,000, something like that, I don't know. But this is not the way to do it, man. This is not the way to do it. There's something called goodwill. And when you run out of it, eventually, you're gonna be in trouble. So yeah, I'll recap it one more time. They buried Seth Rollins multiple times in this segment. Same as the title, maybe even more than Seth Rollins, because the title was already buried more than Seth Rollins. They buried Cody Rhodes, and consequently, they buried the Royal Rumble. I mean, sure, like we had Edge win the Rumble, or Alberto Del Rio win the Rumble and go for Edge's title, world title at WrestleMania, which wasn't the main event at all, and many others like instances like that where if it wasn't convenient for WWE to put the winner of the Royal Rumble at the main event, I get that. But the match and the stipulation and the main event thing, it's never been disrespected as much as it has been this year with this segment. Like, this is an all-timer, how not to book segment. And I really think The Rock has power creatively. Backstage is an insane politician. I really believe that. I mean, you look at the guy's image, right, that he tries to put out there. Squeaky clean, perfect, work hard. He's way too nice. He's way too nice. I think someone said he was one of the fakest people ever. Yeah, probably. Not saying he's a horrible person, but there is a lot more to The Rock that we just don't see in public. And so I believe he is involved in the creative process for this segment. He is going to continue to be involved in it and have a lot to say because of his position and power. And what I don't believe is that's something that's going to end good for any of us. Maybe they'll swerve us. Maybe Cody will come back next week and say, hell nah, dude. I was just joking. This is going to be a triple threat now. Or maybe betray Rock, cross-throws him in the middle of the ring. Maybe there's an angle that they're playing with Seth Rollins. Maybe this is going to be Fatal 4-Way. Maybe something so crazy is coming up that we cannot see at all. I don't know. This, though, confused me. I know it confused Kenny Baum, many other people as well. Don't know what to think. At the end of the day, the SOBs did it, man. We want to watch next week. We want to watch on Raw what Cody's going to do. They keep us watching. That's the one good thing about this segment. That's all. And I especially want to see the next time The Rock appears on any type of WWE television. The amount of boos now that the internet got the chance to process what happened, because the live crowd for SmackDown, they were like, yay, The Rock. Now the internet did its thing. And we might be seeing a repeat of Royal Rumble 2024. With The Rock and Roman Reigns, you know, when he raised his hand and people booed The Rock. More people have internet. More people know about The Rock. More people know that The Rock is not perfect. Know about it. They know about his ego, what kind of a person he is. Even though he tries to hide it with the internet, you really can't hide everything. Sure, you can hide some stuff, but so this type of heat, I don't remember ever since like Roman Reigns beat Undertaker. That was like insane type of heat, and it felt the same way that the heat that The Rock is about to receive now. Again, back when he did this to CM Punk, social media was definitely a thing, but it's crazy to imagine, I know, but it wasn't as big as right now. Like if, let's say 100 million people were using social media, just a random number. Now it's like, 5 billion. Literally everybody is using it now. Everybody's on the board. And there's a culture that's been prevailing, and the way people take information and watch stuff have completely changed. So yeah, live crowd, next time The Rock is out there, it's going to be super interesting. In the meanwhile, people forgot about many other things, like the Jericho allegations. And then more importantly, even the Vince McMahon allegations, at least for now. Some people say that this has literally been done just so people can forget about it, just so he as a business will not be in trouble. Say Netflix will not say, oh man, we're going to do this $5 billion with you, but you know what? With all of the crazy controversy going on right now, we're not going to do it. Well, what's a perfect way to have everybody's attention, including Netflix, away from that? Do something like this. Yeah, I don't know. It's the last thing I'll say. My condolences if you are a Cody Rhodes fan. This must have been rough, and I'm sorry for him because, like I said, I was not agreeing with the way they booked Cody Rhodes, but even I can recognize that this is messed up. And even I'm sad for Cody Rhodes. Like this is messed up. That's all I'm gonna say. We'll talk more about it in the future show reviews. So stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, show this button some love, and check out Off the Top because this Tuesday we're gonna have a podcast and we'll talk about this one more time. So that being said, I'll see you there, man. Oh my God, insane.